Hello, welcome back. Hey, Jeremiah, Danielle, Nick. Nick, I still haven't heard from you, buddy. Nick, you still have no idea what you're going to do? Listen, Katana and her brother both emailed me. Nathaniel emailed me about their projects, and they're in various stages of getting it done. I don't believe you. What do you mean you tried? You can do it right from your phone. That's all right. We're just getting started. Make sure you have the right address. Get a piece of paper and write it down, or take a picture of it with your phone, or something. Screenshot something so you have the right email address. Or you can go. Are you still saying you can't get into Google Classroom? Because so many people can, and I don't understand why you can't. Morning, Tristan. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is, well, how cold I am. Whew. No, I'll say hi to Harold, though. Your YouTube is lagging. Okay, well, we'll deal with that. Yeah, you can't use the school email. Just use your email that's set up on your phone or one of your parents' phone. It doesn't matter. I'm an adult. I'm not going to email you in the middle of the night just to aggravate you or irritate you. And I'm not going to stalk you, and I'm not going to sell your email address to the people that try to get you to extend your car warranty. So none of that's going to happen. So don't, just chill out. Don't worry about it. As a matter of fact, Nick, I'm going to see if I have an email for you, and I'm going to look it up, and it might be a parent's email, and because I have a master list, and I'm going to email you. All right. No stalking going on here. I will say this. I have gone in and looked at what I have posted as the Scientific Method Master Sheet. This is a sheet that you are supposed to be using to record all your information. So there's a scientific method graphic organizer in Google Classroom. Problem, remember, problem, background search, hypothesis, experiment, result, conclusion. It's like 2 pages. And then there is what's called the Scientific Method Master Sheet. And that is just a Google Doc. It's blank. It says, use this Google Doc to record everything pertaining to your experiment. Make sure you label each section. I don't know, I'm getting a notice. Make sure you label each section. And somewhere in here, let me go back. Venus. Let me go back. I got Venus up right now. One more. All right, so in here somewhere is called the Project Timeline for Scientific Method. And it is 5 pages. And so some people have actually turned this in when this isn't anything that you really turn in. There's nothing to get a grade on. What you're supposed to do, and I've said this a number of times, the second page on this is called the project timeline, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sections to it. Okay. And you should, maybe you can't, you should be able to edit it. Well, like I have one, Tristan, I have yours pulled up. It says last edit was made 7 days ago by Tristan, but I don't see any writing on it at all, any typing whatsoever. And the way these are set up is if for some reason you can't, that's fine. You can just do another Google Doc and share it with me, and it'll show up when I click it, go into my Google Drive and I click on shared with me, it'll show up. And I'm just not seeing any really a few things from a few people, but almost nobody. And so that's a lot of what I'm going to base your grade off of. So I need those. So make sure you get those turned in. You guys all know how to share Google Docs with me. You just need to have my email address, name, whatever, or Mr. Foss Knights. If you start typing in Thomas, Thomas, it'll probably pop up because why? Because you guys have shared stuff with me before. So I'm in your little system. So don't forget to do that. I don't want us to be doing a whole bunch of last minute stuff. As a matter of fact, you know, we're getting down where we only have really 2.5 weeks of school left. I want to kind of be done with this, and probably what we're going to do the last week of school is really just kind of have some fun. Maybe I'll do a couple experiments that you guys can watch and try not to blow myself up or something. Yeah, I don't know what that's beep. I keep getting this. Anyways, I want to know if anybody has any questions while we're working, and I'll be happy to answer them. I do follow that. You know, there's a couple other scientific methods. It's called the Scientific Method Master Sheet. That's what was shared with you. And I'm looking at my other computer right now, which is why I'm not like concentrating on you guys. Come on, come on. Scientific Method Student Master Sheet. Okay. I can go in, and I want you all to go in, those of you who can go in and just type on it so that I know that you can actually, that it'll, actually work. Okay. And each one of you should have a copy of it. If it doesn't work, make your own Google Doc and put everything on there. And you should be following the project timeline for Scientific Method. Project timeline for Scientific, I can spell, method. Is the packet that says you will be doing an experiment at home on our packets referring to this? Let me look. Well, I will say this, it's 5 pages long. The first page says Science Fair Student Guide, Science A to Z across the top. Okay. Project timeline. Let me look at this other one to see what you're looking at. I don't know where you found that, Nathaniel, and I'm trying to look and see where you're finding that little piece of information. Materials list, lab examples. I don't even see those words anywhere, so I'm not sure. If I find those words, I'll look through everything and we'll talk to that. I'll talk to you about that. I'm sorry your video's lagging. I apologize for that. It's not lagging for everybody, is it? It's like a campaign video or something. So anyways, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is writing conclusions, and I wanted to be able to go in. I don't wait till you guys are all done with something. If you're working on a project, you know that I'll go in and look at it. Narelle, you might have too much other stuff open on your phone. It could be that your phone is slowing down, or it could be a problem with your internet. So I apologize for that. It's just something that happens. But I will go in and if you got the first 3 steps done or first 5 steps done, and I know, Katana, I know you've done I've gotten the video of your experiment. I don't know if you, I'll have to go back and look through all those emails, as I haven't seen any of the written part. But this is an important part of as important a part of the experiment as doing the experiment itself. And some of the stuff that's been sent to me that I've been able to look at is really cool. Let's make sure that we're getting the rest of it done. Okay. And so make sure, if it's on paper, make sure that it's getting to me, even if it's photographed. I would prefer to have something in Google Classroom, but I will take anything. And that's fine, because I understand some of you guys are having technical problems. But in Google Classroom, you need to get into that. It's called Project Timeline for Scientific Method. That's your guide, okay? And I'm going to put a note on there that'll explain that, and you're supposed to write everything out on your scientific method student master sheet. In other words, this is what my experiment is, because this is what my question is. My background research, I know this, or I looked up this and found this. Here's my hypothesis. And so each one of those steps you're actually going to be writing out on that scientific method student master sheet. And so each one of those steps, it doesn't have to be big, long, drawn out crap. It could be a few sentences for most of it. And so don't panic about that. Anybody can write a few sentences real quick. This is what my hypothesis is, because, 2 sentences. My question, 1 sentence maybe, or 2 sentences if you need to explain. My background research, a few sentences. Okay, when you start to get into some of this other stuff, materials list, that's going to be a little bit more complicated. It might be 6 steps, it might be 10 steps, or it might be 6 things, it might be 10 things. Your procedure, same thing. What do I do first? What do I do second? I would say probably anywhere from 6 to 10 steps. Actually conducting the experiment, There is no paper part to that, but recording your data. When you're recording your data, then there is a paper part to that, and you might record it on a piece of paper and then type it in, and then you're showing your results with some sort of a graph. Okay, you can get a decent grade without doing every single step, but why not try to do it all? You're going to be doing it next year, I assure you, in person, and brush up on it and get do well at it. I was actually messaging a person in Uganda that I've talked to you guys about in the past, and their schools closed down just like ours. They don't have the benefit and the beauty of having Google Classroom. And so they're completely shut down, and they don't even know when they can go back. And I told him that we were really blessed to be able to have the internet and Google Classroom and all the things that our schools are and the state are supplying us, so that we can still communicate. There is another feature that has showed up in Google Classroom, which is Google Meet. So if you can actually get into Google Classroom and you really want to do a quick one-on-one, we are willing to do that. What we'd have to do is we'd have to message each other ahead of time. You'd have to get a code to get into the meeting. And then we can do a little one-on-one and make sure that you're on the same page, make sure that you understand. I'm willing to do that. Mr. Foster, I'm sure, is willing to do that. He's the one that actually made me aware of it. When we woke up this morning, Google Classroom had disappeared from our boards. It had been archived, apparently, because they had updated a few things. That's cool that she does that. And now that it's in there, I'd like to try to start doing that when you guys need it. And that's fine. It's one-on-one. It'll just be a few minutes, and we'll take it from there. I haven't heard from a few people in a while that are here. And it's okay to be honest, because I'm not going to yell at you if you didn't. But if you have started writing stuff out, did you write it somewhere else? Have you written it on a piece of paper? Is it on a document that you haven't shared with me? Is there some crazy reason why I can't see it? So I would like to know, be honest about that, and we can get it fixed up. If there's a problem or find another way, there's always solutions. There's always a way around a problem. You do have to have that paper trail to go along with your experiment. And so if you sent me a video, if you sent me pictures of your experiment, and I'm like, that's cool, I see it, that's cool, that's awesome, it came out really good. All right, I still need to see the paper part of it, because what you're doing is only the experiment. That's only worth a quarter of your grade. I need to see everything else. And so make sure that you're following through on it. Don't make it hard. Make it a sentence or two. And if you need help, if you really, really need help, send me a message. I'll try to do a Google Meet with you, which will mean that we kind of need to be on at the same time. Yeah, I saw that. It should, I'll have to go in and take a look at it. If I made a copy for everybody, type on it. Okay, and I typically go in there and say, make each person a copy. I know I've gotten some from other people, so I'm not sure why yours didn't. I don't care if it's on another doc. That's cool. That's fine. You just need to share it with me so that I can see it and look at it. And before you turn it in for your final grade, I can say, hey, this is good, that's good, that's good, that's good, but wait, you need to fix this. Okay? These are works in progress. It's not like you're just going to turn it in. I'm going to go, this is great, or this is horrible. Great, give you a good grade, or horrible, give you a bad grade. It's a work in progress. So honestly, I don't see anybody needing to get a bad grade on this if they put some effort in it. Because if it's wrong, if you're working on it and I can look at it and it's wrong, I'm going to tell you to correct it and tell you how to correct it. And once it's corrected, then you automatically get that good grade because you put the effort in it and you've done it. So there's just no way that somebody's going to get a bad grade on this unless they just don't do it. Pretty simple. And I don't even want it to be about the grade. To me, that's almost like a distraction. I want to see that you understand what you're doing and that you get it and that you're learning something. Honestly, you really need to know and believe, and I believe this, that learning this stuff, learning the scientific method really is a life skill. You know, when we talk about plants and gardening, it's a life skill. It's a life skill. And so life skills are something that you can go back to at any time. I talked about, you know, if you get sick, using your own little version of the scientific method to try to figure out why you are sick. Doctors use it all the time. They use it informally when they see you at the doctor's office. They use it formally when they're doing research. They're using it right now to try to find therapies that work best for COVID-19 patients, as well as trying to find a vaccine for the virus. And so people are using this all around us every day. It's really important to understand it. You will use versions of it in your life. And so this is not just about something crazy abstract for you to learn that you'll never look at again, because you will use this. I guarantee you will use this in your life. Even if you cook, even if you bake, and you bake something and it comes out and it tastes horrible, or doesn't cook right, and you need to figure out, what do I need to change? Oh my gosh, you are doing a version of the scientific method. Understand that you're going to be using this in your life, which is why I want you to learn it. Not because I'm just a science teacher that says you have to have this stuff and the state has to have this stuff. This is stuff that you'll use. So remember that. So make sure that you're going and looking at that 5-page document, and really the only one that you need to concentrate is on page 2. Page 4 and 5 are kind of a guideline how to do page 2. Page 1 and 3 are pretty much irrelevant. And so make sure you're looking at that document that's listed as Science Fair Student Guide. I have it listed as, well, under Project Timeline for Scientific Method, it says Science Fair Student Guide, and it's a PDF. All right, we're about out of time. I hope you guys are doing well. I will check my email, Nick, and if I don't get anything, I will find your email and email you. Hope you guys are doing well, even on this rainy day. And it's exciting to see some temperatures going up, getting warmer. I'm going to be posting a much shorter video I was waiting for that, Tristan. I will be posting a much shorter video than I did last time from my greenhouse, and we'll even look in my garden a little bit. And that is to show you guys, since you did not get to do your garden this year, so you can enjoy a little bit and see a little bit of what I actually do at home. Take care, guys. Peace out. Hope you're all doing well, and get a hold of me any way you can. Nick, I'll try to get a hold of you if I don't see your stuff. See you guys soon.